Hi, welcome to Selamatkan Johor, Selamatkan Malaysia podcast. Today we have Dr. Ken, the founder of Muda, one of the co-founders of Muda. So before we proceed, Pritika, you have anything to add?
Yeah, okay. So, hi Dr. Ken, welcome.
Pritika,
It's
thank
very
you.
nice having you over
Terima
here.
kasih.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a very common question which is asked by almost every Malaysian today. So, according to you, what is Muda? Tell us, enlighten us, as a co-founder of Muda, what do you feel about Muda? What is Muda?
Terima kasih Liban, terima kasih Pritika. I think that's a $1,000,000 question that everyone asks. But I think one of the most antara yang paling penting kerana Muda ditubuhkan is we have arrived at a very critical juncture in Malaysian politics, in the sense that there needs to be a regeneration and renewal of the way politics is being carried out, the way politics is run, and more importantly, I think the idea of having collective youth leadership. I think semua orang pun tahu dengan undi 18 dan sebagainya, kita melihat satu waktu di mana kita akan menyaksikan orang muda semakin terlibat, dan oleh itu Parti Muda is committed and is one of the platforms in which there is the energy and also endeavour to platform these young leaders, whether by age or whether by idea, and I feel more importantly in terms of diversity and representation. Jadi itu saya kira sangat penting lah. Dan tengok lihat sini, Pritika dan Liban sendiri pun mungkin orang yang luar biasa, muda, bertenaga dan juga berkelayakan, saya fikir ya. So I think that goes to the very essence of what Muda stands for and is committed to. Yeah.
So Dr. Ken, Muda is going to do its political debut in Johor. And I believe that the narrative of this podcast itself is Selamatkan Johor and Selamatkan Malaysia. So what's your take on that?
Ia penting kerana seperti yang saya kata tadi, dia bukan sahaja satu perubahan dan regenerasi politik, tetapi juga we have arrived at a juncture where our critical institutions are crumbling and are facing a very difficult process of being competent. Saya beri satu contoh, banjir baru-baru ni, Liban, Pritika sendiri pun sangat aktif dan kawan-kawan muda. Kita lihat ramai mengatakan bahawa bukan kerajaan dan institusi dan agensi kerajaan, tetapi orang muda, masyarakat sendiri yang turun ke lapangan dan menjadi first contact point. So that's important. These elections, this Johor elections sangat penting kerana politik kepimpinan institusi kerajaan, tidak kira negeri atau nasional, harus diperkukuhkan semula untuk memastikan if there are any events or moments of crisis, of change, then there is a need to address these critical issues, whether climate, health or politics. Yeah.
That's very interesting, Dr. Ken. And yeah, it's true that during the banjir, it was the people who came to the rescue. So it was more like rakyat untuk rakyat, yeah. So it was more of like the people helping the people. And then we do realize that not every issue has to be politicized. Okay, and Muda stands by that, because Muda is not always about politics. Muda is about the people. We want to attend to the issues of the people, and we want to help the people. Okay, so Dr. Ken, do you think that this election will bring a new change to Muda? What are the advantages or maybe like the effects on Muda through this election?
In terms of how these elections will influence or affect Muda, I think it's a very good occasion dan satu titik tolak yang penting untuk menunjukkan bahawa kita bersedia dan juga ada kehendak, the will, whether politically or socially, to solve real issues on the ground. And I think it is also a good learning process for Muda, because many of our members are new to politics,
including me.
Yeah, they're new to politics
Yeah.
in every dimension, whether maybe in terms of strategy, in terms of electoral politics, in terms of social work on the ground. I think it is a good chance for us to, as they say, to learn as we do. Berbuat sambil belajar sambil buat, and then I'm sure that through this experience, our young leaders will be even more prepared as we move forward to chart more fresh and I think more energy, full of vigor in our political landscape. Yeah. So that would definitely, as our president likes to say, it will not only turbocharge the nation, it will turbocharge our leadership and membership and
Yes.
the movement itself.
So one of the sentiments on ground, not only on ground, for most Malaysians are election fatigue. Because we go undi, we change, and then due to certain circumstances, the government changed back in favor of those we voted against. So what is your message? What are the things that we can do in Johor election, starting from Johor election, to ensure that such things doesn't happen?
I think apa yang Pritika sebut tadi sangat menarik, dan juga Liban, you alluded to it, which is while issues are social issues and rakyat issues, and we don't politicize those issues, the means by which to address them are through politics. So it is through the electoral process and political process which we attempt to address social issues of the rakyat and society. So the elections is important, and the fatigue is critical for us to be aware of, to tell people, to come up with a narrative, a message that elections will determine the state government and the direction for the next at least 4 to 5 years. So it's important to be involved, to commit to the electoral process, because the electoral process will then determine the political process, and it is through the political process that we then come to what Liban mentioned tadi, untuk mengajukan, tetapi lebih penting lagi melaksanakan dasar-dasar yang membawa kebaikan kepada masyarakat lah. Dalam konteks Johor contohnya, I may suggest a few, seperti equal allocation for ahli Dewan Undangan Negeri, to carry out and implement
Party hopping law.
anti-party hopping law at the state level, which you need to endorse, which the state needs to endorse, and then also come up with policies, very importantly, on the back of the banjir sebelum ni, yang menghormati dan mengambil kira kebajikan masyarakat setempat when it comes to urban development, climate protection, protection of local infrastructure, and those are among antaranya lah. Jadi through the electoral process, to the political process, to policy making, to institute changes that will benefit masyarakat secara umum.
Yeah, very true. I think we can come to an understanding that the politics is a bridge between leaders like you, leaders like
us,
like
like everyone else here.
Right, I'm
Not only
appreciated. Leaders like us and the people to deliver what we can at our best, because Malaysia is for the rakyat, right? And people, this is a democratic country. People choose us because they trust us, because they believe us, and we believe that we too can fulfill our manifestos in this PRN Johor. So last but not least, okay, Dr. Ken, would like to ask you, what would you like to deliver or say to our Johor people, the masyarakat Johor, rakyat Johor?
Just adding on top of that, since Undi 18 is going to be implemented in PRN Johor, and I believe there is about 195,000 over new voters, first-time voters who are going to be a part of PRN Johor. What is your message to them? What would you say to them to ensure that they exercise their duties as Malaysians or Anak Johor and to come and vote?
I think a very important message to take away is that geographically, Johor has always been a very important a place, a state, whether politically, whether culturally, whether economically or historically. It is the place where the continuation of the Kesultanan Melaka, dia juga tempat di mana sastrawan-sastrawan Persatuan Kebudayaan semua tumbuh. It is the place of the if Singapore is the gateway to the world and Southeast Asia, Johor is the gateway to Singapore. So it is very important. I think Johor historically and culturally is an important state and should always be treated importantly and with seriousness and with respect in terms of policy, in terms of agenda, in terms of building a better state and country. So our message, I think, we would urge the people of Johor, rakyat Johor dan juga rakyat Malaysia keseluruhannya untuk terlibat bersama secara aktif menyuarakan kehendak rakyat, keperluan rakyat dan juga kehendak untuk memastikan bahawa mereka yang dilantik atau dipilih betul-betul serius dan bukan sahaja memegang jawatan kerana kuasa dan kepentingan semata-mata. Untuk mereka yang dalam golongan undi 18 atau mungkin between the youth, for example, between 18 ke 21, I would say that it is enough and time that a huge portion of a very critical portion of the Malaysian community, society and electorate has so far been marginalized. It is now that they are now involved in this political process. So it is important for us to move together to make sure again to make sure that their needs, their desires, their aspirations and idealism is implemented, and it is up to us actually, not only the people of Johor, not only the youth, but for us together in Muda and also to work kebersamaan dengan semua orang untuk memastikan bahawa this election, the political future of our country and the state of Johor khususnya is given the right commitment, the right treatment, and also the right leadership to ensure that the crisis that happened before this will not repeat itself, or if it does, not at the scale where it catches us by surprise and by a lack of preparation. So I think the people of Johor, rakyat Johor tentunya sudah cukup peka, cukup bersedia untuk melakukan yang terbaik, dan adalah kepada kita untuk memastikan bahawa kita juga menjalankan kempen kita dan tanggungjawab kita untuk memastikan kita bergerak bersama dengan rakyat dan menyuarakan dan juga pada akhirnya memastikan apa yang dijanjikan, apa yang disuarakan dilaksanakan.
Thank you, Dr. Ken. Thank you for your time. So guys, we would like to thank Dr. Ken today for joining.
Thank you so much.
This is going to be this is not going to be a scripted podcast. It's not. It's going to be a very laid-back session, as we will introduce more faces. So join us in our YouTube channels as we bring all our ideas and aspirations from Muda to you.
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Terima kasih.